welcome back to a special episode of From the Margins. I don't know if this is technically From the Margins because Connor's not here, but we're going to call it that anyway for the time being until I come up with something else. Now, we are doing something very special. Today is actually a bit of a challenge/test. We are having a taste testing because, as I pointed out I mentioned before Blue and Devon on the channel, people that I live with. I mentioned to Blue that there's a secret underground war between Twizzler and Redvine in terms of Licorice, and I did not know how deep that resentment went. Blue, would you do me the honor of explaining what the difference is and why it's so heated?
Okay, so there's definitely a war between the Redvines and Twizzlers. Full disclosure, am on the Redvine side. I will eat Twizzlers, but only if there are no Redvines. The difference to me is pretty stark. Twizzlers are pretty waxy and plasticky, and they've got this really artificial strawberry smell to them. And when you chew them up, it just becomes astroturf in your mouth, and you get like smaller little bits of Twizzlers, and I don't really like that. Whereas with Redvines, they feel more like an actual candy. They will actually dissolve in your mouth. I think the flavor's better when they're fresh. They're really soft, whereas Twizzlers right out of the package are just like little plastic ropes.
This is a good time to mention this is not sponsored by Redvine or Twizzler, God willing, if only. But also, didn't you mention something earlier about Redvine being made with something different than Twizzler and vice versa?
Oh, yeah. So if you actually look at the ingredient lists of Redvines versus Twizzlers, Redvines have I think 5 ingredients, mostly like corn syrup, flour, and then the flavoring and the color, and I think one other thing, citric acid, I believe. But Twizzlers have 15 plus ingredients, something like that. A lot of them I can't pronounce. I don't know what they are.
I remember there was a suspicious amount of iron. I was very off-put by
but you can get 2% of your daily dose of iron through Twizzlers. And they've also got double the sugar content of Redvines. And while some people may think that candy should be super sweet, I see it more as I can eat double the Redvines because they are much less sugary.
Now, with all that being said, this is not a normal episode where we're just going to sit here and talk at you. We have actually got a participatory element on our ends. After I realized there was such passion in Blue's voice about this, I immediately had to run out to the store, and I bought 4 bags of licorice. 2
really
black
big bags.
They were bigger than I wanted them to be. It's the smallest ones they had. I'm sorry. I bought Twizzler and Redvine red licorice, and then Twizzler and Redvine black licorice. I, unlike Blue, am not versed on it at all. I don't remember ever liking licorice, red or black, but it's also been so long that I'm not really holding strong to that opinion and willing to change my mind in case I do like it. And we have now got a blind taste testing on a plate that we're both going to try and comment on. Now, when I say blind, though, it's blind to me because I don't know the difference. I think I can tell which ones are which based on... My settings on my Outlook are out of date. Anyway, I can tell which ones are which based on... I can tell which ones are which, I think, based on the fact that I don't know how to say it any other way. The Redvines look more matte compared to the Twizzlers, which are very glossy. So yeah, I guess let's get into it. Blue, would you like to pick and tell us which one we start off with in terms of black, red? Just pick one. You don't have to tell me which one it is until after we comment, so I can be pure in my judgment.
Yeah, we should start with the red ones. Let's start with these red ones.
All right.
Also, before you get going, I just want to point out the quantity of Twizzlers and Redvines that were purchased.
I'm sorry,
Devin.
Devin.
There are 3 bags.
They don't have smaller bags. I looked. I was pacing up and down the candy aisle like a mad person looking for smaller ones. Oh my.
AstroTurf.
This is very strange. I'm getting a hint of strawberry, but it feels like
It's pretty fake strawberry.
It feels like somebody tried to make something strawberry flavored while only having an audio description of what a strawberry is.
Yeah, it's I've totally had a strawberry before, and the boss was like, yeah.
This is like...
believe you.
This is like if somebody had a strawberry LaCroix deodorant.
So this is the darker red one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
don't
plate.
no.
No.
Not that one.
We
no,
already.
no, I know. I'm pointing out the difference.
It's very chewy and it's a little bit sticky in my teeth, but it's not terrible. It's better than I remember it being, despite all the things I just said. At the same time, I'm hesitant to finish it.
Would you want to eat another one?
Only because I bought so many of them and feel compelled to.
Only because we
The question
don't
was
have
rhetorical.
space to store them.
I'm having that feeling like whenever you get caught smoking and your parent makes you smoke an entire carton and makes you sick.
Yeah.
That's my reaction to what I'm feeling right now.
So I'm gonna actually. I think you kind of have an idea of which one this is. Here, just smell the bag,
Oh no.
so we can.
That's very, like, mild cough syrupy.
A little bit.
So I take it that was the strawberry Twizzler.
It was.
That was strawberry Twizzler.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still chewing it. God damn.
Yeah, because it doesn't. You have to just be content with swallowing little pieces of Twizzler that aren't actually chewed up or dissolved. They are just going to be that way in your mouth until you swallow.
I'm starting to understand.
Smaller and smaller pieces of Twizzler is all you
You
get.
look like you're
Okay.
struggling.
That was at least twice the amount of labor for that bit than I thought it was going to be. What do we move on to next, Blue?
Let's do. I mean, it's kind of obvious that the first one was a Twizzler.
Okay.
You were right about the waxy and matte looks to them. So I guess we'll try the red vines.
The red vine.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right. Hopefully, here's hoping. There's an immediate difference. I just can't tell what it is.
Red vines kind of have a unique flavor.
They do.
You can't identify it as artificial strawberry. I personally like the flavor, but it's definitely not immediately recognizable.
I hope this makes sense to somebody and I'm not having a stroke, but it tastes closer to bubblegum than it does cherry or strawberry to me.
No, I can see that. Yeah.
Like, there's a weird bubblegummy flavor to it, which is not bad. It's more pleasurable to eat in terms of, like, I'm a very texture-sensitive
Mouthfeel.
person. The mouth feels much more pleasurable. It's also not as difficult to chew, this one.
This
Like-
one will actually, you can dissolve it in your mouth if you choose.
I see. Okay, in terms of just pure strawberry one-to-one comparison, I think red vine gets my vote. That was not terrible.
Like, I mean, I've already said that I was biased, but I would eat more red vines willingly, whereas the red Twizzlers, I'm not so sure about that.
Still weirded out by the idea that I'm getting a weird bubblegum flavor compared to strawberry.
It's definitely not, I mean, I think if you go into thinking, like, red vines, the red version, or strawberry, you're going to be a little bit confused, but they kind of have their own unique flavor.
They
I mean,
do.
red vines taste like red vines, unlike Twizzlers where you have to be like strawberry Twizzlers.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Granted, Twizzler also makes like orange Twizzlers or root
What?
beer Twizzlers or a bunch of other flavors of Twizzlers.
I've seen
so-
root beer flavored Twizzlers, which is the only way I think you can make a normal Twizzler worse, based on that impression.
Yeah, right?
But I've never heard of orange Twizzlers.
No, there's a bunch of grape Twizzlers.
It's because people don't like licorice.
Also fair.
They're trying to branch out into the other.
All right. So, in pure red-to-red comparison, I think red vine wins pretty solidly. Still not a fan of Twizzlers, or not a fan of licorice overall. But between the two, I know which I'd prefer.
If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I know which one I'm picking.
Cool. Well, now it comes to the actual licorice.
Like the pure black licorice.
The actual licorice flavored licorice. I guess let's start with the...
Since you've
Even
already...
I don't even know what this particular one tastes like, and I'm kind of afraid.
It looks
I couldn't-
hellish.
I couldn't actually pull them out of the bag in full strips. It was just, they were so, like, stuck together.
They look like pop tires.
Yeah, they look like tire tread.
They
look
do. They look like recycled tires. Good call, actually. Also, fun fact: there used to be a flash game on the Nickelodeon website for Halloween one year. They made called Black Licorice that I think I've seen other YouTubers talk about because a lot of kids got traumatized because it's really inadvertently scary. And I kind of agree. If I was 7 and played that game, go look it up. It's actually very interesting. If I was 7 and played that game, it'd scare the actual ass off of me. Oh no! Oh
Yeah,
no!
not good, right?
Here's the trash.
It's not good.
Oh wow! What is this flavor?
Well, it's bad licorice. This is the actual flavor of licorice, number one. But also it's Twizzler, so it's worse than actual licorice is. You said that you did like Good and Plenty. Good and Plenty is a more, in my opinion, they do licorice a lot better. Whereas somehow Twizzler managed to get the black licorice to taste kind of like absinthe almost, where it's like hurting. Where like if you're trying to breathe while you're eating this, it kind of hurts your lungs a little bit.
I was just about to say, like how taste and smell are so intertwined. I was just about to say, this reminds me of my first time ever like drinking absinthe.
But I actually like absinthe, and but this is like a bad bottle of absinthe. Like there's like good absinthe, and then there's like really bad absinthe.
This is the cheapest bottle of absinthe that can legally be allowed to be sold.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if I want to finish that.
Please don't.
It's the Burnett's of absinthe.
It's the Burnett's. Yes.
Boy howdy, that was wonderful.
I mean, and you might not like the red vine one either. I don't know what this one tastes like, so I guess we can just move on to that one.
Again, I'm not a licorice aficionado, so really it's all an adventure to me.
I'll let people know if it's
as somebody who
good
likes
black licorice or not.
This almost has more of an absinthe taste to me. This is unique.
This has more of an absinthe taste to me, but it's not hurting my lungs like the Twizzler did.
It's hitting in a different way.
I'd still say if you're looking for like a good black licorice treat, though, I would go with something like Good and Plenty instead.
I'm having some mild flashbacks to some really rough nights in college. There's been a few Truth or Dare games that involve this taste.
I think the moral of the story is maybe just both Red Vines and Twizzler didn't do a great job with their black licorice, which is hilarious because people see Twizzler and Red Vine as the licorice brands. But licorice isn't actually a type of candy so much as it is, or like a brand. It's an actual plant that where you get the flavor from. And so licorice is just a flavor. Red Vines and Twizzlers are not licorice in and of themselves.
This is just fascinating. I feel like I was not supposed to eat this.
Right.
Like, black licorice feels like something I elected to eat that was not meant to be eaten. It feels like it was meant to be used for like even playing with it. I hate to admit this because I liked Red Vine comparatively. Even the actual like black licorice Red Vine kind of reminds me of like a dog chew toy.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
It looks like it would be good for their teeth, but it's probably not, so don't give it to your dog.
Yeah, I don't remember if licorice is on the no eat for dogs list.
I don't either. Somebody look that up. Anyway.
Post it in the comments.
Please, post it in the comments.
I don't want to Google it.
I mean, I will Google it, but still. Alright. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support the channel. We're still growing, and I have to do the YouTube outro thing because whatever, it's a passion project. Don't judge me. Blue, Devon, thank you both for contributing here today, even though Devon got to skip the entire horror that was black licorice of either direction.
Oh, that was planned.
He totally bitched out. He did not have to participate in the horror that is badly made black licorice.
That's fair.
I'm going to go eat more red licorice. Red Vines.
That's a good endorsement.
Well, we have plenty. So.
Alright, so again, we're not sponsored, but if Red Vines would like to sponsor us, we do have some independent, not sellout opinions that are toward the positive.
Totally. I doubt that Twizzler likes me very much at this point.
That's true. Actually, who's Twizzler made by? Are they an independent company, or like are they one of the big ones like Mars or something makes them?
I have no idea.
I want to look at the package before I end this episode because I'm curious.
I don't see it.
Oh, I still got the taste in my mouth.
I know. That one's going to stay there for a while.
God, I almost...
Want some absinthe to get rid of the taste of the licorice?
I was actually just about to say, because at least when you take a shot of absinthe, you're supposed to take it with a sugar cube, so you get that little relief at the end.
I think that's...
Hershey's mixed Twizzlers? Oh, no. Yeah, Hershey, I'm sorry.
Who makes these guys?
Yeah.
Let's see, who makes...
American Licorice Company.
Oh, well, at least that's all they do.
I don't know if they've got a bigger...
Questions or comments? Ask www.askhershey's.com.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Hershey. I got some comments.
They've been doing licorice and red licorice since 1914.
Red Vines?
Yeah, Red Vines.
Doing it since 1914. God, I can explain why they got a little bit ahead of the game on that one then.
Yeah, for their red licorice, they know what they're doing.
That's fair.
They are Red Vines.
You heard it here first, folks. This has been a in-depth review of licorice, the war between, and also which one's better. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I already said this, but I've completely forgotten, and I have the memory of a fruit fly. Bye!